Dance Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 28th day of August 2023, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the road, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Remember to observe the rules of the road. Remember, if you do so, the life you save may just be your own. And we want to give an additional reminder this morning that our precious ones, our future, they are on the roads of the Cayman Islands. They may be in a school bus, they may be in a parent's car, they may be in riding a bicycle to school, or maybe even walking. So you want to ensure that you are extra cautious. Stop driving like mad people on the road, because eventually you're going to get to where you're going if you take your time as well. But remember, our future, our extremely precious ones are on our roads. So please, please be extremely cautious. We're a little bit late this morning, but as they say, better late than never. And we want to apologize to our listening audience. We experienced some serious technical issues this morning, and as a result of that, we were delayed getting on the air. But it is great. It is good to be on the air as well. So those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you. And to remind you that this segment of For the Record, the birthday shout-outs, are brought to you by Pizza Boat. They are now open on Queens Court and West Bay Road, so folks, hop on board the Pizza Boat Express today. Pizza Boat. They make pizza even more fun. You can pick up or you can have your pizza delivered as well. All you have to do is to call 949-0000, or you can order online via www.pizzaboat.ky. So let's see who's celebrating birthdays. I don't have one for today yet. We will get that. Of course, if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today, please let us know, and we will give them a shout out on For the Record. So yesterday, the 27th, Mr. Peter Goff, he celebrated his birthday. Tomorrow, we will have Mr. Morgan DeCosta celebrating his birthday. Miss Katrina Moore, daughter of Alan Moore, she's celebrating her birthday today over in Florida as well. And further on down the line, we will have Lord Graham celebrating his birthday on September 10th. Miss Heather Diane Borden, our Member of Parliament, celebrating hers on September 13th. Kirk Lee celebrating his on September the 21st. So we will be giving all of those persons a big birthday shout out when it comes around as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. We in particular want to send our condolences to the family of Mr. Bernard Watler, who passed away on the weekend, as well. Very knowledgeable gentleman, knew so much about the history of the Cayman Islands, of course, coming from prominent families in the Cayman Islands as well. And he certainly was dedicated his life to Cayman, to the people of the Cayman Islands, served on boards, was the chairperson of the Water Authority for quite a while as well. Of course, he was an astute businessman also, so we want to extend our sincere condolences to the family of Mr. Bernard Watler as well. Those of you who are ill and are at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open, and in the studio this morning at the controls, none other than that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us, and I'm going to give you all of the numbers. Not sure which ones are working, but if you try one and it isn't working, please try the other. So we have our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. We also have 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. We can accommodate calls from that number as well. Only one caller at a time. That's the our WhatsApp number, 925-3261. You can also follow us on YouTube. Do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Don't forget we are on Facebook as well. We do have a caller. After we take that caller, at some point I want to share with you the release issued by the Ministry of Education, welcoming their new and returning educators. 37 new Caymanian educators have been recruited as well, and I will share that press release with you as well. Don't forget, our future and our precious ones, they are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, going to school, coming from school as well. You want to ensure that you observe all of the road traffic laws when it comes to buses as well, school buses. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you doing?
Good morning, Lord Graham. How are you?
I'm good. Nothing controversial today. I just want to call to say my deepest condolences to the family of the late Mr. Great Bernard Watler. As you know, me and him was pretty
tight.
Close.
Yes.
And sad that we lost another great, knowledgeable person like Mr. Bernard, who was so kind and open up his house.
Yes.
To me, whenever I wanted it, he never tell me who I could invite. I just invited who I wanted, and I acted as if when I was there, as if the house was mine.
We know that. Yes.
Yeah, he sat in the hammock and made me did whatever I wanted to do. And I just want to say I don't know if you view it, but there's a video that I did the last time we were there, which I had plans to be there next week Saturday. I talked to Joe Ellen on Friday and said we were going to do it next week Saturday. Fortunately, that won't happen, but I want to remember all the good that he have done, and like I said, there's a video on my Facebook, and I want to put it up yesterday after coming back from the BRAC from another good friend, Regal Jackson's funeral. And I put it up last night, and I just checked. I got a message from elected member Barbara Conley, who was congratulating about the video. and I caused me to go to my Facebook, and I think we got over 1,000 views since last night, and 100 and something comments. So if anybody want to look at it and see the type of person that Mr. Bernard was and made us take over his house while he just sit back in the hammock, they can go and I think that video is a really great celebration of Mr. Bernard, because as you can remember, we had Mr. Samuel Rose and Brown Sugar from Swanker Band there.
Yes.
I invited them to come along, and it was a really, really good celebration of just Caymanians. And yeah, so I would like to salute a great man, a real great Caymanian.
Yes, and he was one patriotic Caymanian as well, extremely patriotic. He was proud of the Cayman Islands. He had concerns about the direction that we were headed in as well, but he also didn't just complain, but he proffered solutions to some of the issues that we here in the Cayman Islands are facing.
Right.
And don't forget his tenure.
Yep.
And don't forget his tenure at the Water Authority as well. He had a lot to do with the direction that the Water Authority has taken as well.
Yep. Okay, so I salute him to the highest degree.
Okay, Lord Graham, thank you. Thank you very much, folks. We're going to take our first commercial break. You're probably saying, well, they're so late coming on. Do they still need to take commercial breaks? And yes, we do. We still have, other entities that are advertising with us as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Who will be the new queen? Miss Universe Cayman Islands will crown a new queen Saturday, September 2nd at the Westin Cayman Resort. Witness 5 stunning contestants as they hit the stage to become your national queen at the Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023 competition finals and coronation. Be in the audience of this fabulous gala while being streamed live on the Miss Universe platform. 5 beautiful ladies, 1 crown on 1 fabulous night. Get your tickets at eventpro.ky or Funky Monkey at Governor Square. Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023, Saturday, September 2nd at the Westin Cayman Resort. You don't want
Stop
to miss
kicking
it.
that old washer or dryer and stressing out. Brand Source Home Gallery is having an August laundry sale. Save up to 15% on all brands. That's right, save up to 15% on GE, Samsung, LG, Beko, Frigidaire, Electrolux, and even heavy-duty commercial washers and dryers, both gas and electric. Shop Brand Source Home Gallery in August and find the island's largest selection of washers and dryers and save during the August laundry sale. Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Good morning, and let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. Godfrey Dixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing moderately. Coming from the east, a little steady traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway and coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, as well as off of Agnes Way. Traffic is moving on steadily, heading to Georgetown on Cool Road. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moderate. Light to moderate traffic flow on Owen Roberts Drive. And as we look to the West Bay 4-way stop, traffic is flowing at a good pace. Edward Street, moderate flow of traffic, and into Georgetown on Shedden Road looking pretty good. Out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, traffic is light to moderate. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. And coming off of Bobby Thompson Way and continuing on to Huldah Avenue, traffic is moving on moderately. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777. Get ready for more with Digicel's all-new prepaid plans. More any-use data to browse. Entertainment data for Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. Plus, stay connected with endless social data for Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. With Digicel's new prepaid plans, you'll never miss a beat. Activate in the My Digicel app today. Digicel. Better connected.
This is it, Cayman, the last week of the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. If you have been chosen for the survey, please complete Step 3 by September 3rd. Your participation is essential for the future of our nation. Help us shape Cayman's healthcare services and say yes to Step 3. To book your appointment or for more information, call 936-4969.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have been asked to give a birthday shout out to Miss Angela Mohammed, who's celebrating her birthday today, and birthday greetings are coming from her husband, Emerald Mohammed, also her sons Rory and Rian, as well as grandchildren Ashton, Adian, and Anika. So, Miss Angela Mohammed celebrating her birthday today. Birthday greetings coming from your grandchildren Ashton, Adian, and Anika, your sons Rory and Rian, and your husband, Mr. Emerald Mohammed as well. And many of you will know Mr. Emerald Mohammed through our education system as well. My understanding is that he was one of the best math teachers, I believe it is, that they had in the system, and we want to thank him, for his service to the people of the Cayman Islands through education as well. So let's look at some of the, I promised you that I would share with you the Minister of Education's press release, and it reads that the Minister of Education welcomes new and returning educators for the start of the new academic year. 37 new Caymanian educators were recruited. Says the ministry welcomed over 900 public school educators back for the 2023-2024 academic year. And I'm reading you a quote coming from the acting chief officer. He says, "Today I extend a special welcome to our returning educators and the 137 new educators, of which 37 are newly qualified Caymanians," remarked Minister of Education Acting Chief Officer Ms. Lynette Monteith, as she delivered the official welcome remarks at the annual Education Professionals Welcome held at the John Gray High School Gymnasium. In welcoming the Caymanian educators, Director of Education Services Mr. Mark Ray stated, "Welcome home to the place you have chosen to form the most important bond of your life." He likewise thanked the returning educators for their continued service. It's quoted as saying, "Your experience, expertise, insights, skills, talents, and most importantly, your love for our students are what we value the most. We thank you for returning and being here with us on this journey." Also in attendance was Acting Governor Honorable France Manderson. He emphasized the importance of meeting the nation's educational standards and encouraged all educators to strive for excellence in educating our youth. Mr. Manderson is quoted as saying, "We are going to put a lot of faith in you to deliver for our children and care for our children." We expect you to be confidants, mothers and fathers. The children are not coming to you perfectly, but we rely on you to do your best every day to improve their lives and deliver high quality world-class education to our children. Specialist math teachers, in her remarks, Acting Premier and Education Minister, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, announced the recruitment of 14 math specialist teachers for the 2023-2024 academic year. Mrs. O'Connor Connolly noted, and I quote, "These 14 specialist math teachers are going into every primary school class, and they will be solely responsible for teaching math because that is their specialty. And we intend to see the next level of performance outputs greatly increase." She also expressed gratitude to the recruitment team for their relentless efforts in fulfilling the staffing requirements of the ministry in a timely fashion. And then in speaking about the new digital registration system, she used the opportunity to announce the introduction of a new digital registration software called Sign In App in schools starting from the 2023-2024 academic year. She's quoted as saying, "We will be implementing this program in all schools as child safety has to be first and foremost and of paramount consideration." And she's said that when she was referring to the software used to register attendees for Friday's event. She thanked the ICT team for their assistance in implementing the program and encouraged educators to help promote a smooth rollout throughout the school year. And then, of course, she spoke about salary increases as well. That is included in that. And there were also, it speaks to those persons who were in attendance as well. We do have a caller, but again, before I go to our caller, I want to remind you that our precious ones are futures. They are on our roads of the Cayman Islands. So if you have no respect for others when you're on the roads, please have respect for them and bear in mind that they may be in a school bus, they may be walking, they may be on a bicycle, they may be in their parents' or some other person's vehicle as well. So you know what you need to do? You need to drive as if there's a school child everywhere on our roads. If you do so, then you would have done your part as well. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. I was still worried there about you.
Yes, we had some technical difficulties, and I got a few calls and a few WhatsApp messages inquiring, what was happening with us. But we were on the air, and glad. Well, I know you want to talk a little bit. You probably want to talk about Mr. Bernard as well. So we'll start talking. In about 4 minutes, we're going to go to our headline news. I'm going to ask you to stay on the line after that so that we can continue to converse.
Well, I would like to personally, publicly send my condolence to his family, and to let them know what my epitaph to him is. Mr. Bernard was a historical beacon of pure truth and valor, and has burned and now faded. A Caymanian giant has fallen. A historical icon has passed. So now let us carry his remains to his resting place with honor and with pride, because his light will forever burn in generational memory. And that's what I'd like to say about Mr. Bernard. A great man, a man of pure truth, a man of valor, and a man of honor. And I don't know if we will ever produce many more men like him again. He was a great friend of mine, and I loved him. as a man, and I know his family is missing him, and I was so lucky to have shared with break bread with him and shared with him memories in 2 weeks ago, and that will forever etch in my memory of him as a great person. I really don't know too many other people of his caliber, and it's going to be a loss that I will never ever get over. I never believed that Mr. Bernard would have passed so fast, and so you can hear I'm welling up and I'm getting emotional about it, because he would always call me and say, "Phil, I have a historical question I want to ask. I have a historical problem I want to solve. Can you help me solve it?" And we would sit down and we will solve it together. And I would do the same thing to him. I would call him and to clarify some historical aspects of our history and our culture. And he was just a great person. And I know you are going to miss him, and our circle is going to miss him. Lord Graham is going to miss him, and all of us are going to miss him. You remember the last time we break bread with him, how jolly he was and how happy he was. As he lied in his hammock and rocked. And OC, I think that we should have something special for him on the radio of this man. And I'll never forget the truths that he told us about his family and his life.
Yes.
And those were profound revelations from a man who was honest and great and good. And I think that we should have even 15 minutes contribution to him on the radio.
Definitely.
It depends on your station, whatever they think. I don't know.
Sure. Well, during our show, we can make some preparations for it as well. Doc, I'm going to ask you to hang in there. Don't hang up. We're going to go to our headline news and return, folks. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority and the Ministry of Tourism and Transport.
Police are warning of a potential phone scam that's targeting Cayman National Bank customers. Police say customers are getting calls from someone claiming to be from their bank, and then they're encouraged to return the call and then provide their banking details. Police advise that this is a scam and you should never give your personal details out over the phone. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has been loudly booed at a vigil for victims of a racially motivated shooting. The Republican candidate for president was heckled in Jacksonville, where hundreds gathered on Sunday to remember the 3 victims of the attack. He was forced to step back from the microphone before a member of the city council asked the crowd to listen. 44-year-old DeSantis, who has loosened gun laws in the state and faced criticism from civil rights leaders for targeting what he called woke ideology, eventually spoke and called the gunman a, quote, scumbag, which prompted applause from some of the crowd. And Hannah Montana star Mitchell Musso has been arrested on suspicion of theft and public intoxication after allegedly stealing a packet of chips. The actor was on the Disney sitcom alongside Miley and Billy Ray Cyrus. Police were called on Saturday to a hotel in Texas where the 32-year-old was alleged to have stolen the chips. When asked to pay for them, Musso allegedly refused and became verbally abusive. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority and the Ministry of Tourism and Transport.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
I am Heather Bodden, MP for Savannah and a lifelong advocate for the environment. Illegal dumping is a crime, so please take civic pride in our home and put litter where it belongs. If you see someone littering, report it to the Department of Environmental Health on 949-6696.
Be a part of the solution, not the pollution. Littering is a crime punishable by a $500 fine or 6 months in prison. Brought to you by the Beautification Task Force and Ministry of Tourism and Ports.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the very latest weather report brought to you by Britcay. Current temperature is 86 degrees. Relative humidity is 80%. The barometric pressure is 1009.3 millibars. The wind is south at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 80 degrees. Synopsis indicates scattered showers across the northwest Caribbean associated with Tropical Storm Idalia, which is expected to continue to spread into the Cayman area through today. Fresh southerly winds are expected across the Cayman area over the next few days as Tropical Storm Idalia moves northward. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area, drifting towards the north-northwest. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Idalia, which at last check was about 125 miles south of the western tip of Cuba. Tropical Storm Idalia is moving towards the north at 7 miles per hour, with maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is also issuing advisories on Hurricane Franklin, which is located northeast of the Turks and Caicos Islands. The system poses no threat to the Cayman Islands. If you need further details, you can always visit www.nhc.noaa.gov. The forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight is calling for cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will be in the low 90s today and will fall to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be southerly at 15 to 20 knots today and 10 to 15 knots for tonight with higher gusts. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should exercise caution. Low tide will be this afternoon at 1:29, high tide 8 minutes past 8. The sun will set this evening at 6:42 and will rise tomorrow morning at 10 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for cloudiness and showers expected to linger through tomorrow as Tropical Storm Idalia strengthens and moves over the northeast Gulf of Mexico. That's the very latest on your weather report brought to you by Britcay.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. Don't lie on your resume. Because if you say you've got trapeze experience, someone might shoot you out of a cannon and expect you to do a gymnast routine while flying through the air at 82 miles an hour. And just because you want to land on your feet doesn't mean you will. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance, so you get the best coverage for the price.
Get the best coverage for the price. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Stop kicking that old washer or dryer and stressing out. Brand Source Home Gallery is having an August laundry sale. Save up to 15% on all brands. That's right. Save up to 15% on GE, Samsung, LG, Beko, Frigidaire, Electrolux, and even heavy-duty commercial washers and dryers, both gas and electric. Shop Brand Source Home Gallery in August and find the island's largest selection of washers and dryers and save during the August laundry sale. Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have Dr. Steve McFeel on the line still. We're talking about the passing of Mr. Bernard Watler. And Doc, again, you know, some of us were really amazed by, you know, his knowledge. He knew so much about the Cayman Islands, so much about, you know, various families. I remember asking him about how did McCoy's Villa end up getting its name? And, you know, he didn't hesitate in terms of, he didn't have to reach for that information. It was right there at, you know, at his fingertips as well.
Yes. Yes, I remember I was asking him about his family. You know, he come from Gun Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to him, I was asking him, I said, how is it possible that your grandfather could come from a modest family in Gun Bay and was able to build a house in Georgetown, and a man of color too,
mm-hmm.
was able to build a house in Georgetown between the two giants of Cayman Islands, the McTigers and the Marians, on North Church Street, on South Church Street. I said his house was right in the middle between the two of them. And he told me, he says, because his grandfather did what he called bookkeeping. He said today he would be an accountant
mm-hmm.
for them. And I asked him, well, then how was he able to build three large vessels? One of them was the fastest, most famous vessel in Cayman. His grandfather, Conwell Watler from Gun Bay, built the Goldfield, the Gold Medal, and the Klondike. Those three vessels that served the Cayman Islands. And he said that was how he was able to do that, because the money he made from those two giant merchants. That's how he was able to do that. And of course one of his famous uncles, Mr. Desmond Watler,
mm-hmm.
who acted as administrator and assistant administrator and chief. But he was the chief officer. He would have been what today, deputy governor.
Deputy governor.
Today?
Yes.
Yeah, and then his uncle Winston, and then his father, who was the warehouse keeper.
Right, and Mr. Winston was in charge of customs at one point in time.
Yes, his uncle was in charge of customs.
Yeah,
and of course, all of the family tidbits he told us, I wouldn't say that on the radio.
yes.
Say that on the radio about his family, but a great patriot,
mm-hmm.
a great generational Caymanian,
mm-hmm.
who was not afraid to call a spade, and to say what he knew and what he believed in, and I think that inspired me. I think being around him, I felt comfortable that I was in comfortable company, and that I was secured and what I could say and what I could reveal to him, and he I guess he felt the same about me, and we were always honest with each other about things that we knew, and I'm so, you remember I told him, I said perhaps you and I should pen something in the realm of a social history of the Cayman Islands, not a hard history about dates and times and stuff, about the interaction between the different families
mm-hmm.
that we knew, and how the Cayman Islands developed in that respect. And remember now, his father also was one of the third pillars of labor in Cayman Island, because it was the Marians and McTigers, and then it was the merchants, the warehouse, and the public works. You remember that?
Right.
Which this was done in the next to the library that most of the men in Georgetown and Savannah and different places could find work.
Precisely. Yes.
And his father ran that institution for many years. I remember when I was little, and they had the 1944 storm, and things were really bad here. The flooding Central and all that stuff. They had to move people into the town hall and the library and all those places for refuge because of the flooding, and how his father opened up the warehouse and allowed us to get goods, corned beef and sardines and biscuits and stuff that he gave out to the people so that they could survive. He knew everything, and he knew everybody.
Yes.
And it was amazing how he knew the different people who came here too. How he got that knowledge, I never asked him, but he knew everything, and I think that we were honored. We should be honored to have known such a great man.
Certainly, yes, yeah.
And I certainly will be there to see his remains rest in peace.
Yes, he's certainly, will be missed, and I do believe that that there have been some recordings of conversations with him as well. I know that there were intentions to do more, and like you said, when we saw him when we were there last, he was in great spirits, high spirits.
Yeah.
No sign whatsoever of of any illness or anything like that. So we were all shocked when we heard that he had passed.
Yes. Yes. I didn't. I thought maybe they had gotten the name wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. They had gotten the name wrong. And then some of my friends called me and said, yes, it was true. Yeah. It was true. And some people who was at that gathering and Bishop Lord Graham has stated about the video. The video was made, and they had never met him before.
Right. Yes.
And after they met him, some of them called me and says, "Why was this man here? We never knew about him." Because that's the kind of person he was. He was not a exhibitionist. He was a very quiet, peaceful giant, and he was always I would say he's always on the cutting edge, and was always on the right side of politics and history. He was a friend of everybody. He was not an enemy of it. I don't know if he had any enemies. He was a friend of everyone that I know. Yes. Now, once you met him, you came away exhumed and almost paralyzed with the knowledge that he had in his head.
Yes.
And his profound honesty. That's I think I keep going back to that. His profound honesty about himself and about his surroundings. And one thing if you went to his house, you would see his house was a replica of the whole Cayman lifestyle. The beautiful woodwork and all of that in his house is not all of this gaudy stuff that people sell today in that we call modern living. It was something to behold, and you wonder, said, where did he get this collection? Well, how did he get this collection? But that's the kind of the man he was. He lived the way he thought, and he thought the way he lived.
Yes. Doc, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be in contact with you to see, what's happening possibly on Wednesday as well. So you'll be hearing from me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Level up your back-to-school game with Digicel. Activate a Prime Bundle or sign up for postpaid for a chance to win big. Win weekly prizes of $1,500 plus Winner Circle and office supply gift vouchers, plus the grand prize of $5,000 for your school of choice and a MacBook just for you. Stay connected with Digicel and let's make this school year unforgettable. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Digicel.com for more details. Digicel, better connected.
Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
This is it, Cayman, the last week of the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. If you have been chosen for the survey, please complete Step 3 by September 3rd. Your participation is essential for the future of our nation. Help us shape Cayman's healthcare services and say yes to Step 3. To book your appointment or for more information, call 936-4969.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
The Cayman Islands Passport Office is now operating extended opening hours 3 days a week until the 7th of September. The new hours will provide the public with increased access while ensuring the efficient processing of applications. The Passport Office is open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and will maintain normal office hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Mondays and Fridays. For more information, please visit www.gov.ky/passport-office.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. We got a late start this morning, but we are on the air now. Our phone lines are open. Toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us, for the record, one word, for the record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. Follow us on YouTube by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. And don't forget, we are on Facebook as well. So, speaking about teaching again, I'm made to understand that Mr. Emerald Muhammad, who I mentioned earlier on the birthday shout out to his wife, Miss Angela Muhammad, he actually is still teaching in the Cayman Islands. And so he continues to make his contribution. He's teaching math and physics at the University College of the Cayman Islands as well. So again, I want to thank Mr. Emerald Muhammad for his contributions. As we know that there are some who come, get what they want, get what they need, and leave. There are some who come, get what they want, get what they need, and stay and remain obscure. And there are those who come, live amongst us, share with us, enjoy, and continue to contribute for the rest of their lives. And we are certainly appreciative of them as well. We see the challenges that some jurisdictions are having when it comes to teachers. We see again the continued exodus of teachers from Jamaica. We see the exodus of teachers, even in higher education, from the state of Florida because of the policies that are being implemented there as well. So I think here in the Cayman Islands, we are extremely fortunate that there are qualities that we possess here in the Cayman Islands that make it attractive for teachers to come here. And we hope and we trust, and I do believe that we are able to attract the creme de la creme simply because of those qualities that we have here in the Cayman Islands. And we saw the acting premier and Minister of Education, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, talk about the increased salaries for teachers and what needs to be done, for them as well. And happy to see that. Happy to see that there are more Caymanian teachers getting into the teaching profession as well. It isn't necessarily an easy profession. People do it because of their passion, and we need to really, really show our appreciation for those. When we do have bad apples in the system, we need to weed them out. We need to get rid of them. When there are problems, we need to acknowledge that there are problems, not sweep it under the rug or shroud it in secrecy. We need to let the people of the Cayman Islands know what is going on. But we do have a good education system. Yes, there can be improvements. Everywhere there can be improvements, as well. We see that there will be challenges as far as education is concerned in the Cayman Islands. We're seeing more and more private schools. They're being created. There are some who are concerned whether or not, we are developing two classes in the Cayman Islands when it comes to education. Education for the rich, those who can afford it, to send their children to private schools here in the Cayman Islands, and those who can't. And that is something we need to look at. We cannot allow it to get out of hand. We need to ensure that that mixture is there, that we don't create an elite class when it comes to schools and education in the Cayman Islands. But folks, while there are those who may predict and preach gloom and doom, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. We all need to throw our support behind our educators. We need to encourage them. We need to help them. We need to remember that while our teachers may spend more time with our children than we do, at the same time, they are not parents per se. We need to support them. We need to assist them as well. So hopefully we will have a productive school year. And if we don't, it won't be because of the lack of effort on the part of the Ministry of Education, the Department of Education Services as well. It won't be for the lack of financing that is being put behind our education system as well. But we all need to throw our hats into the ring and support our education system as well. So, what else do we have here? We see that scams, of course, are taking place in the Cayman Islands, and you would have heard on our news this morning, Miss Carsley Fuller would have shared with you the public advisory about the phone scam that is targeting customers of Cayman National Bank, and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has received reports that local banking customers have received calls from individuals claiming to be from their bank. Customers are then encouraged to return the call and provide their banking details. The fraudulent telephone number being utilized is a 1-866-233-9717 number that is being used. It says that when this number is dialed, the caller will hear the automated Cayman National Bank's voice greeting. Police advise banking customers to always be vigilant and not provide any personal banking details over the phone to anyone claiming to be from your bank. Police further advise the public they should not call the specified fraudulent telephone number. Yeah, when you see a number that you do not recognize, don't call it. If it is someone who's really trying to reach you, they will probably call you back again, or if they have other means of contacting you through email or whatever, then they will do that. But if you see a strange number there, don't be so quick to call it. And if you know that you have a standard way of communicating with your financial institution, with your banks, and you see something coming otherwise, don't be attracted to it, because you know that this is a particular way that your bank will be using to contact you as well. So please, folks, follow the warning. You don't want to get hoodwinked and end up losing your well-earned money as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Radio Cayman News.
Man gets slammed by torrential rain, lightning, and thunder today.
Boy, it is wet out here. The rain really started coming down within the last half an hour.
The Port Authority facility was struck by lightning.
But if we're all careful, then we can all get home safely.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners has shared with us and said, we have certainly lost one of our keepers, one of the keepers of our culture. We shall miss Mr. Bernard, but we know he's now looking down on us from above. He certainly will be missed as well. Okay, I'm going to shift gears a little bit here, and this is a follow-up to something that I shared with you about the ESTA program, that if you're the holder of a British passport and you want to travel to the U.S., and this has to be on commercial airline, that you can apply for an ESTA. It's an online application. If it is approved, I think you pay $21 for it. If it's approved, it's valid for 2 years, and of course you can stay in the United States for an aggregated period of 6 months for the year, not continuously, I don't believe, but in 1 year, total of 6 months. There were some concerns expressed that persons were having their ESTA withdrawn because they had traveled to Cuba. There were questions as to how the U.S. authorities would know that they had traveled to Cuba, whether or not those endorsements, if you traveled to Cuba, whether or not your passports were stamped by the Cuban authorities. Some people were questioning whether or not information was being shared with the U.S. as far as Cayman and travelers were concerned. There were some who speculated that maybe on your application, your online application for the ESTA, there's a question there whether or not you have traveled to Cuba within a given period of time. And those persons who did so and indicated so on their ESTA, whether or not that may have been the cause for it, haven't gotten full answers when it comes to the Cayman Islands. But we know that people in the British Virgin Islands were also experiencing problems with their ESTA. Now, we also know that the British Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands, they're in close proximity with each other. So we see here now that the authorities in the British Virgin Islands are advising they are advising travelers to use one passport to enter and the same passport to depart the U.S. as well. Now, bearing in mind, we're talking about, in the case of the British Virgin Islands, they're talking about the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is a U.S. territory, part of the United States. We do know that in the United States, there are no immigration controls when you are leaving the United States. Whether or not the customs and border control people in the U.S. has access to the airline's data that would show that a person has checked in, a person has traveled, we don't know. But I believe that the situation here in the Cayman Islands is slightly different than what obtains in the British Virgin Islands as it relates to the U.S. Virgin Islands. But I will share this with you anyway because many of us, if we have an ESTA, use the British passport to leave the Cayman Islands, enter the U.S., but when we were returning to Cayman, so that we don't have to fill out that immigration card, we use our Cayman Islands passport. Now, if you use the British passport, when that passport is endorsed, or should be is stamped. Now, I don't know whether or not you can ask the Customs Border Control Officer to also stamp your Cayman Islands passport. I'm not sure if that is possible, but it is always advisable to have some evidence that you have departed the United States. Otherwise, we have known situations where people have been told we have no record of you leaving, that you overstayed in the U.S., and as a result of that, you will have to apply for a visa. So let me share this article with you. And it says that members of the public traveling with an electronic system travel authorization, known as the ESTA, by the acronym ESTA, are being asked to use the same passport to depart and re-enter the territory to avoid being inaccurately recorded. This is according to a recent statement from the government, which said that following an investigation and discussions with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, it was revealed that travelers who have entered the United States with their United Kingdom UK passport and return to the British Virgin Islands using a different passport, including a Virgin Islands passport, may be at risk of being flagged as having overstayed in the United States. That's exactly what I said earlier as well. It says the release comes months after complaints were first made about persons being flagged or denied entry in record numbers into the United States using the ESTA method of travel. The Office of the Deputy Governor confirmed previously that some ESTA visa waiver applications were denied due to an issue where reentrance to the BVI was not properly logged, thus inaccurately indicating that some travelers had never left the United States. The government issued a reminder that entrance to the United States is logged using a passport number. It urged that persons who travel to the United States using a UK passport and valid ESTA must return to the BVI using the same UK passport to ensure that their arrival and departure, both ways, have been successfully recorded. The statement further advised that persons should also note that departures from the United States mainland to the United States Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico is not considered as an official departure from the United States. I'm going to repeat that. The statement further advised that persons should also note that departure from the U.S. mainland to the United States Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico is not considered an official departure from the U.S. And I'm going to interject there, and the reason for that is that they are both United States territories. They are both considered to be a part of the U.S. So it would be simply similar to you traveling from Georgia to Florida, or from Florida to New York, or from state to state within the United States as well. And the last paragraph says that it noted that official departure from the U.S. will only be logged upon completing an international flight or voyage to a non-U.S. territory or state. So again, it looks as if quite possibly, United States Customs and Border Control can tell if you have left the U.S. because quite possibly they may have access to the records, the airline records as well. So slightly different from what we experience here in the Cayman Islands, but we do know that we try to return and on our Cayman passport so as to avoid the having to fill out the form and possibly having to wait on the non-Caymanian line. Now, I've been from the Immigration Department 20 years now, left in 2003, and but hopefully, and I believe that the system has the capacity to do this. So if Orrett Connor is the holder of a Cayman Islands passport and also the holder, Cayman Islands, British Overseas Territories passport, indicating that I'm from the Cayman Islands, I'll put it that way, and I'm also the holder of a British passport, that the system can indicate that I'm the holder of both. And we need to do what we can to accommodate both situations so that we don't have to be back and forth as far as our using the passports is concerned, so that the record of Orrett Connor in the Customs and Border Control system will show that I hold a Cayman Island, British Overseas Territories passport of the Cayman Islands, as well as a British passport. And I believe that that would help to solve the problem. I do recall on one occasion when returning that the person said, "Oh, it's okay. We have you in the system. We have that. The fact we know that you also hold a Cayman Islands passport. So as a result, of that, there's no need for you to fill out the form." So we need to see how flexible we can be, with that as well. Folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
This is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time on Radio Cayman. Praise time.
Jesus in the morning.
I will, so send me, Lord, I will go. Born again, thank God I'm born again.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before,
during and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning and the last leg on an abbreviated show this morning due to technical difficulties. But we are here, and so we have about 12 minutes to go before For the Record closes off this morning. First, I want to give a big shout out and hope and trust that our brothers and sisters in Bermuda are safe as well. We see that tropical storm, which look like it's turning into a hurricane heading towards Bermuda as well. And they estimate that actually at 6 o'clock this morning, the Bermuda Weather Service say that the system's closest point of approach within the next 3 days was predicted to be 180 miles to the northwest at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. So 180 miles northwest of Bermuda. We hope that that projection doesn't change and put it any closer to them. We certainly want to wish them all the best and that everyone will remain safe as well. One of our listeners has written, and I may have to paraphrase some of this, but person says, thank you. However, with the many resources that are afforded to the education system, it's important to note that during these modern times, we have to acknowledge that there are many issues with the general subjects that are required for graduation. There are many concerns of serious concerns regarding mathematics. Well, I'm going to pause there for a second and we see where the Minister of Education has spoken about math and the additional math teachers that have been added to the system. And let me see if I can find that portion again that I can read to you. Specialist teachers. Okay, so it says the minister, acting premier and minister announced the recruitment of 14 math specialist teachers for the 2023-24 academic year. And she pointed out that these 14 specialist math teachers are going into every primary school class, and they will be solely responsible for teaching math. Solely. That will be their sole responsibility because that is their specialty, and we intend to see the next level of performance outputs greatly increase. So, while the writer has spoken about serious concerns regarding mathematics, they go on to say that maybe there's a need to have a serious conversation regarding primary schools as it relates to the lack of knowledge in the core subjects. Causing the government to hire specialized teachers in math, we are hiring teachers who are not qualified at the level of students of primary education. That's a question mark, you say. That's a very serious problem. That's an issue would be held against children who will be affected and placed in the lower standards and grades and when going to high school. We have to ensure that the government is getting value for our children. Thank you. I will not propose to speak on behalf of the Ministry of Education, but I would say the mere fact that these specialist math teachers have been recruited is the ministry's and the government's recognition that we need to see improvements in the area of maths as well. And we again have to congratulate them. We have to laud them for the efforts that are being made in that regard. Again, let's use the example of Mr. Emerald Muhammad, who taught maths and physics, continues to teach math and physics as well. And I am made to understand, I'm reliably informed that he also made teaching fun. At the same time, teaching math and physics fun while he was teaching it as well. And he was extremely successful in that endeavor. I firmly believe that the acquisition of and recruitment of specialist math teachers is a clear indication that the government, the ministry, the minister are intent on addressing the issue. And I believe that we will see positive results from this effort as well. And where are they starting? They're starting in the primary schools. And why? Because of the formative years of our children. That is when they begin to learn as well. And my advice would be, if you have a child who is struggling in a particular area and you're monitoring your child's progress, you're watching, assisting them where you can with their homework and everything else, and you see that your child is struggling in a particular area, reach out to someone, seek the additional help that is needed, whether or not it is tutoring and or otherwise. Do that. Address it at the early stage. There is no doubt, folks, that where we see the Cayman Islands heading now, and we see the number of work permits that we are required to have in the Cayman Islands simply because we do not have enough people in the Cayman Islands who are already resident in the Cayman Islands to cover all of the demands that are there, that we're going to need more and more qualified, educated people in the Cayman Islands. We need to ensure that our Caymanians are educated to the highest standard that they can be or that they want to be, because I believe that the demand is going to continue to be there as well. So, folks, address the needs of your children now. Try to identify their deficiencies. Help is out there. All you have to do is ask for it. There's help out there somewhere or the other. Tutoring, we see after-school programs and everything else that are being conducted. So, again, we want to laud the government, the Ministry of Education, the minister, again, for their continued efforts as far as education in the Cayman Islands is concerned, and the addition of 14 specialist math teachers is a step in the right direction. I have no doubt that those teachers have been properly vetted in terms of their qualifications and their expertise as well. And I have no doubt that once they start to perform, if they are deemed to be lacking, then there will be no hesitation whatsoever on the part of the ministry to replace them, if that is what is needed as well. Let's see, we have another WhatsApp. Let me see if I can share this one with you before we go off the air as well. The person says, okay. Oh, we do have a birthday today as well. Miss Evelyn Rivers celebrating a birthday today. We want to wish her a happy birthday. Who else, Miss Susan? So Miss Evelyn Rivers celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday greetings coming from Miss Alice as well. Miss Alice, Oral, and Kim as well. Okay, so this person has sent a photograph of a trophy that their grandson received, and it says Academic Excellence Award Mathematics 2022-2023. They haven't said who their grandson is, but I want to congratulate them on that. And again, goes to show you that the talent is out there. Sometimes you just have to instill, you have to build up that confidence in those who may be lacking in a little bit of confidence. But folks, I'll tell you what helps. Tutoring helps. If you see that someone is falling back in a particular area, there are experts out there. One-to-one tutoring will help. That is not asking a whole lot in terms of your financial output if you have to do that, because it will pay huge, huge, huge dividends at the end of the day for you and for your children as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Remember, our future and our precious ones are on the roads. Sometime in the afternoon, but usually after 2 o'clock minutes to 3, there will be more traffic on the roads. Buses, parents picking up their children from school. Please, please, please drive as if there's a child in your car and there's a child in every vehicle that is around you as well. God bless. Have a great day. And we look forward to conversing with you again on Wednesday, when we will have representatives from the Lands and Survey Department talking about their Customer Appreciation Day as well. So folks, we ask the good Lord to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ca cayman.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.